All right, this is Chaotic Crypto, where we defy tyranny. It's been a few days since my last post and wanted to go through the charts and really get a feel for what's going on with the markets. We're just really what they call just kind of stitching, not really going anywhere. We're just consolidating at resistance. And the more we kind of hit this resistance, the more it's looking more and more like we're probably going to break out of this thing. This is Bitcoin. And again, the reason why we look at Bitcoin so much is because it has the highest. It maintains the most dominance in the crypto market. So whatever Bitcoin does, the rest of the market will follow most of the time. So we're just kind of seeing what's happening there. But the 4-hour stochastic RSI has totally recharged. It kind of looks like we could go up for sure. We're kind of, as they say, you take the steps up to in a bull market in price, but then you take the elevator down. The bears come out, and it's just usually quicker drops. But when you're bullish, it's kind of like slower, methodical. Breaks up. So we're kind of just making these levels of volume nodes, and then we'll probably come back up, and then eventually we will come down and correct. I think similar to 2018, 2019. In 2018, I guess it was 2019. 2019, we pushed pretty hard. Bitcoin went from 3,300, 3,600, something like that, to 14K. And then it corrected almost all the way right back down. So I'm seeing something like that similarly. So we're going to have to see about that. But looking at one of the moving averages, the 4-hour moving average is taking us to about 25K. And I'm also seeing confluence that on the 1 day. It's a similar moving average. I forget. Maybe it's on the 1 day. On the 1 day. There was another moving average that was hitting similarly on that mark, but also it's a Fibonacci retracement. That we haven't really come down and retested this previous zone of resistance, and that's pretty prime. I think this level, the 24 to 25K, it's kind of just begging, I think, for a retest at some point, but that could be where we come back, in a couple months, once we've made a run to say 36 or to 40K, something like that. So we'll just have to see about that. The daily chart, the stochastic, has been recharged. Looks like it's kind of wants to go back up to maybe it was on the 1 hourly. Maybe I'm on the wrong chart. I don't know. I just remember seeing there was similar motions on the 4-hour to the 1 day. It's like calling for a 25K retest, but it might not happen now. Let us see. Now, the one concerning chart I have is the stochastic on the weekly, which I don't really like that one at all. I do not like this moving average for the weekly. Sometimes it just stays up here for a while, but usually once you've had a double top or something like that, and you start crossing down, that'll mean maybe this thing's come to an end. Like if like here you had one come down, like a double top. So it looks a little bit sketch, but it just doesn't. This run will end, I guess. It will end, and we will come back down. It's just when. It's already turning down, so maybe it could be sooner than later. But I mean, on the FUD storm, the media and just the government's been throwing everything they can at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's been honey badgered, and it just does not care. So it's just interesting to me. The regular stochastic, I could see it coming down too for a bit, but it's not completely overbought yet. Where like in 2019, it became really overbought, stayed up there. We're not there yet, and I see more movement to the upside there. Take a crypto bubble, see what's happening. Injective protocol. I noticed that you can stake that on Atomic Wallet now, I think for 5%, maybe even 10%. So I might start really stacking that. XRD EOS apparently is having some comeback. I don't know. That one really let me down last cycle, so I don't really want to mess with it too much. But Tezos, one of my big picks. I think this may do very well. in the long run. And it's really cheap. I think it hit an all-time high of 10. Aave, a decentralized DeFi protocol. Neo is kind of like China's Ethereum. They were kind of going with that whole thing. It didn't do very well last cycle, but maybe it's coming back. VE Chain, supply chain crypto. I think this one, there's not many supply chain cryptos that brag on that as their selling point. There are a couple others. I think one is Doc, if I can remember right. But there's just not many that kind of market themselves as that specialty. And I saw that Ontology was really moving. If I can find it, let's see. I didn't see it in the last. Let's see if I can find this thing. Ontology, there it is. And this is kind of not a very well-known crypto, but it was up 35% at one point today. We'll take a look. It's one of my picks because you can stake this thing on Exodus Wallet. Well, what is 18-20%? It's kind of come down to 15%, at least with the spike today. I noticed it's just interesting. I guess it only gives so much of a payout accordingly to that. This is the total market cap. I think maybe actually I have it on. Let's see. Bear with me. Ontology. I believe it's a decentralized internet protocol, specialized for companies to be able to use. Oh yeah, here it is. Interesting. It's not the best looking chart from this perspective, but it did break up. But it's been in a downtrend since 2018. So it's not the prettiest looking thing, but it's interesting that it's waking up like that. Does it look like a dead coin to me? Not necessarily. It's just been trending down pretty hard for a while. Not saying to go into it. It's just it did pop really hard, and I'm gonna, if we start coming up here and consolidating, if we break this high right here at some point, it's like maybe it'll do well. I don't know. What's nice about that one is you can stake it. So and XRP seems to be waking up as well, but I'm kind of expecting with XRP. I'm kind of expecting it to come down to this wedge and retest. So I'm scared to really buy too much more until I get a confirmed retest on this wedge, which a lot of the times they do. They're called bump and run reversals in the industry. So it would make sense. That's just how these markets usually run. But it might surprise if we get some good news from the SEC case and all of that. That could change things. Let's come back to that in a second. I didn't go through all of this. Also, please like and subscribe. Feel free to leave a comment, tell your friends. Hey, this guy does some technical analysis. He's really into crypto, and I do talk about some altcoins that I really have on my radar. This is Crypto Crown's trading channels app. I guess it's free. You could just get on here, and I think it has a few cool indicators that I just look at. It's just helpful to kind of see and check out what's going on. Let's see, IOTA. Maker Neo Injective, it kind of does the same thing that Crypto Bubbles does, which Crypto Bubbles is just. But the thing is, Crypto Bubbles didn't have Ontology on here. Where's Ontology? I would think that would be somewhere on here. It's just kind of lame that it's not. So, I have to look for it on another app. But what's nice about global open interest? We're still pretty low. We're not in these really high open interest numbers of the amount of people that are longing and shorting. It's not over leveraged really. We're still kind of low, and that's what's nice. Fear and greed is still around the 60s, which is it's kind of mid high. That's not scaring me, but it is a little bit concerning. Kind of want to recharge at some point. We can keep on going to 70 and 80. If we hit a 90 on the fear and greed in the next month or two, that's what I'm getting out. At least taking some good profits resetting. I think even if it hits, mid 70s and 80, I'll probably be eyeing some kind of repositioning. Like, say if Bitcoin just keeps running, but everything else is kind of slow, like maybe take those Bitcoin profits and I'll probably do some USDT and then some altcoins that I really into. But it's probably better. What I've noticed is that when Bitcoin and Ethereum run really hard, you can take some of those profits and put them into altcoins. But the thing is, the altcoins will run. But once the run is over, like Bitcoin and Ethereum start dropping, and say they go down back 20, 30, 40%, like they probably will, the altcoins will go down 60 and 70%. So you're better off waiting and staying maybe in a stable coin. Not financial advice, but like I'll probably be staying in stable coins until the whole process is restarted, and then take those profits and go back in. That's sort of my plan. I could be wrong, but that's just what I've noticed. Is like a lot of times people are like, oh yeah, Bitcoin, Ethereum just ran to 3 or 4K. I want to take those profits and put them in some altcoins. Yeah, like temporarily you might make some good gains, but if you don't have your eye on the trigger, like the second that the whole thing reverses and resistance is hit, those altcoins that you thought you'd get some headway on will crash harder than the others. So you just got to be kind of in and out, sort of a sniper about it. So food for thought, things to mention. As far as news, I really haven't been keeping up with the crypto news as much. I've just been so exhausted with it. Voyager US, I think the Binance US Voyager and then Binance acquisition seems to be moving forward. I got getting emails about that. This is looking really healthy, actually. This is kind of a rising, doesn't look quite a rising wedge to me. This is a rising, I guess, ascending triangle, and a lot of these times they'll break up. But again, like the resistance on these volume nodes, we're looking at top 38K, which is really high. I mean, no doubt. But I think minimally we'll hit probably this 32 to 33 first, and maybe we'll get that bounce down to 24, 25. That would be the healthiest thing, and we slowly climb back up. But it's possible he goes as far as 30 to 40K as a wick or something like that. We'll see. We will see. What else to talk about? I'm just trying to think of the news. What has been going on with the news? I really don't know. Nothing's really hitting me too hard there. XRP, Tesla, Zilliqa, Theta. I really want to pick up some more Theta. Really want to get some more of that. Take a look at the dollar. Now the dollar it's at the low range. It's had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks of red candles on the dollar, and we're at this zone. So, and we're bouncing. I mean, I think probably we're going to get some kind of recovery, maybe a bounce. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to bounce that hard. Maybe we just kind of go into this and then crash again. We'll probably make this sort of a thing. It might, because of this head and shoulders. I mean, it could crash down to 97 even further. Yeah, I mean the tested inverse head and shoulders, that'd go down to 90 cents or 90, whatever that means, right? This doesn't seem to be, the momentum isn't gone yet on this move down. So, but I'm kind of expecting it to kind of roll this level for a bit, but it didn't really hit my descending triangle target, so wouldn't pay too much attention to that. So I would expect a bounce here, though. Gala Games, kind of wonder what's going to happen here. I was thinking it was going to bounce harder. It hasn't bounced yet. Algorand. Let's see. A lot of these altcoins haven't really moved very hard yet. A lot of people are calling for alt season. I don't know if it's going to happen. I mean, it's possible that we don't get a crazy alt season. And maybe that doesn't happen until next year. I'm not too sure, though. There's no way to know for sure. All I know is I'm stacking all that I can. For instance, I bought some HBAR in Near today. So, NAD. H bars. I feel like H bar might be this last cycle's sort of Cardano. So take that as you will. Or even Zilliqa is like kind of like where Cardano was last cycle as far as, yeah, let's compare the Zilliqa right here. Looking at Zilliqa, now let's look at Cardano. Like, it's kind of similar, you know. If it just goes crazy, then it go crazy. I wonder what Cardano's going to do here. It's looking kind of boring. It's rising slowly. It's not, you know. Like, things like, you know, meanwhile, a lot of these coins are kind of boring. Like, a lot of them, again, you can stake them, and that's where you can, you know, while they're boring, not doing anything, they can be making you some extra coins while you're staking them and preserving the network. And, you know, you're really helping things. And I also do have a Twitter, DeFi Tyranny. That's our little thing. I really like this picture, and my masterwork picture right here. Or here's the better one. Yeah, Voyager. This is all us wrecked. Gary Gensler doing the navigating. TX Celsius. I think that's a really good picture, but it didn't really get much attention. 2 weeks. Let's see, like, whatever y'all can do to like help me, please subscribe. Yeah, I mean, blockchain's going to be taking over everything. It's just going to be another layer of the internet. It's just a way of, you know, preserving data integrity and transparency. And I think that's very, very important, especially these days. So I think that's going to be it for me today. I think things are looking pretty safe, but I mean, we might get a 25K retest. Would be the healthiest thing, but we might just keep on running up. I think we will eventually come down to 25K without a doubt, and possibly even a week down to 19. We'll see what happens. But hang in there, keep calm, hodl, and we'll try to catch you in tomorrow. Peace.